Hey guys, welcome back to Exit Corners. So as usual, I'll give you a quick recap of what happened last time with my keynote thingy. Alright. So we start off at Arc 2 with, again, a monologue with himself, maybe? Like, we're not really sure if Ink is talking to himself, or is he talking to like a different personality inside his head. But yeah, Ink doesn't remember this conversation in the first act, and the other personality or person is unwilling to help Ink. So that's interesting. And also, Ray's arm got cut off, so and then Ink used his scarf. I mean, Beth used Ink's scarf to like try to like stop him from bleeding out. So that's why in the puzzle clear screen, there's like no scarf with Ink right now. And yeah, so yeah, I guess I was wrong about Aoife, and I apologize about that. So like she's not as like deceptive, I guess, as Sayaka, but she is clairvoyant though, so I'm gonna pull in Hiro Hagakure as the ultimate clairvoyant. Okay. Anyway, right. They fell asleep for a bit and now they have 4 hours left. Or 4 hours and 19 minutes, but still that's not a lot of time before like they all die. So there's that to be worried about. But the good news is they only have two more rooms left, so there is that. Alright, so and I guess I should replace Ray's picture with him without his arm. That's kind of sad, but yeah. Ray. Oh, Beth gave Ink an envelope that has like I'm assuming it's a will of some sort, or maybe it's just information that she needs to get out to the world somehow. So we don't know what's in it, but hopefully we'll find out soon. Um, yeah, so we did have our so Liza deduced that Sen wants them to kill themselves, which is, I mean, yeah, that's probably what he wants them to do based on how the rooms have been structured so far, but we don't really know if there's like an underlying motive behind that. And also, we also got two more characters, Sean and Tiana. They both have the same symptoms as Ink, Liza, and Beth. So, yeah. And yeah, Sean was followed by a redheaded guy in a cap, and he doesn't have his Gemini. And Tiana was abducted with a knockout gas, which Liza knew about potentially, so maybe that's how she got kidnapped, but she didn't share with the rest of the group. Um, oh, one thing before I talk about my simulation theory is that I noticed that like everyone has like their first and last names except for Yeager from the original group. We have Ink Greer, Ray Nandon, Beth Marsh, Liza Thatcher, but we don't have a last name for Yeager, so that's kind of sus for her. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So my simulation theory is that like they're in a simulation because Ray survived, but he lost too much blood. Like Beth noted that like he shouldn't have survived because he lost like a lot of blood. And also, how did Beth survive herself from like the garden that was full of nitrous oxide? And yeah, and then Ink also noted that the sword was like too blunt. It couldn't cut. It shouldn't have cut off like been able to cut off Ray's arm. So that's kind of weird itself too. And also the pills and keycard appearing on the ground. I didn't question it at the time, but like, how did that happen? Like, it could just be some sort of like hidden mechanism, but still, it's kind of weird. And the game of the best garden, like how was that constructed? Like how is that even possible? They keep mentioning that like that this stuff isn't possible, or it's like so I'm beginning to think this is all a simulation. And yeah, during like one of the rooms, like the wall was like glitching. They would, I mean, it could be just a legit game bug, but it looks like the walls were like glitching, and they're like, oh, sand is coming down, but like it looks like the wall was glitching. Um, yeah, Ink also saw like a little gash or thread in the wall, so that's probably another sign that this is a simulation. And so yeah, at the end of the episode, they decided to go. The both the blue and black doors were opened up, so they could choose where to go. And then yeah, they decided to split up because that's the most time efficient way to do things. And Sent says that blue is more difficult than black. So Ray, Beth, and Aoife are going through blue, and then Sean, Tiana, and Liza are going through black. And apparently, Ink is also going to go through the black door because reasons. We can't do the blue door. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Okay, chapter 20, Two Sides. Previously on exit corners. Skip. Black. I'll go through the black door with Liza, Tiana, and Sean. Wait, is that really what I want? Ink had something of a last minute change of heart. More than anything, he wanted to go along with Eva, but knew it would be wrong to act on such selfish impulses. The responsible thing to do would be to spend time with the new contestants. Why had they been added to the game last minute? I mean, they were your contacts. Then there was Liza. She was still hiding something, something big. One way or another. Ink knew he ought to figure out what it was. Yeah, that is true. We have figured out Beth and Ray, so I guess there's Liza and Eve left. Something at the back of his mind was telling him that the black door was the correct choice, so he stuck with it. The black door? Sure thing, bud. We could probably use the help. I understand, Eva. Eva, Ray, and I have more experience with these puzzles than the rest of you. Barring some drastic action on Sen's part, we can still switch between doors as we see fit. That is true, yeah, Beth has got it, yeah. Let's hope you didn't jinx us with that comment. Ink knocked twice on a nearby table. Something at the back of his mind was telling him that it wasn't real wood, but he decided to ignore it. Because it's a simulation, maybe? Ink. Huh? What'd I do? You're bleeding again. Ink put his hand to his nose. She was right. It had stopped as soon as it had started, and it hadn't really hurt like the last time, but Ink had experienced another nosebleed. He wiped the blood off on his sleeve. It hadn't bothered him at all, but he could see some of the other contestants were worried, Beth especially. Yeah, I didn't mention this in my intro, but yeah, like the whole ink switching business, like the colors, could be another simulation thing as well. That's probably our cue to hurry up. And so they did. After exchanging various forms of good luck, the contestants went through the designated doors. You be careful, okay? Eva thumped away whatever blood must have remained on Ink's upper lip. Hey, that's my line. Ink mirrored Eva and jokingly ran a thumb over her upper lip. We're not very original, are we? No, I guess not. Ink chuckled. I'll catch you later, then. Good luck, detective. Why are they so awkward? Good luck, Eva. Eva went in for a quick hug, and then the two contestants headed towards their respective doors. It was a good nap. And with that, Ink was the only contestant left in the hall. I'm not going to let you win, Scent. I'm getting out of here alive. Ink's words were met with silence, but he knew that Scent had gotten the message. Finally, Ink stepped through the black door himself. Okay. The other contestants were chatting at the center of the bureau. So it looks like the same room, but with cracks. So the door leading to the next room stays locked until we solve the puzzle? That's usually it, yeah. And if there's no puzzle on the monitor, what do we do then? It depends. It varies from room to room. Gotcha. Any ideas, Ink? Let me see here. Come on, Ink. Didn't they say you were the best puzzle solver of the bunch? Give me a minute to look around the room at least. Jeez. Ink shook his head and made a lap around the study. Other than the obvious cracks along the edges of the room, the layout was nearly identical to the other two studies he had encountered. The monitor was, indeed, just an empty blue screen. So what's the scoop? This is the third time we've encountered a study-esque room like this. The layout is pretty similar to the last two. How do we get the monitor online? Not sure. You said this is the third room like this one you've encountered. What'd you do to get the monitor online those two times? Well, the last time, the screen was on when we walked into the room. And the time before that, we never actually figured it out. If you never figured it out, how'd you clear the room? Ray tried to cheat, which made Sant blow up one of the explosives at the base of this building. And then Sant gave us an alternate puzzle, whatever that means. So you never actually figured it out? No, I guess we didn't. Well, you'll get a second chance to figure it out right now, right? I guess. Let's split up and give the room a good floor-to-ceiling search. Sounds good. I'll take this side over here. The four contestants split off, each heading to a different corner of the room. Ink began his search on the right side of the room and was almost immediately overcome with deja vu. Man, this room's a little worse for wear, but these rooms are nearly identical. I mean, I know this place is fashioned after a hotel, but something about this feels off. The smell was the same too, the same musty smell that had reminded him so much of the bookstore he used to visit and the person he used to be. Yeah, even the smell is the same. I'm pretty sure this is a simulation by now. Ink shook his head. There was no time to reminisce. He scoured a nearby bookshelf top to bottom, reading every spine, but found absolutely nothing that stood out. Tiana edged closer to him as they searched. He couldn't help but sneer. Hey, find anything? No. Ink was happy to end the conversation right then and there, but Tiana continued to stare at him. Let me ask you something, Ink. Is it important? How well do you think you know Ray? I don't know. I've known him for less than a day, so probably not super well. Ink turned away from her. Listen, I don't think we have the time to chat about Ray right now. Let's keep searching. Hmm. Ugh. Hey, what's going on over there? Whoa, you okay, Tiana? Yeah, just a little bleeding. I think it's starting to go away. Ink giving you a hard time or something? Ink didn't do anything. Yeah, didn't think so. Ink's a total softie anyway. Look how cuddly he is. Sean wound his arms around Ink for a very tight hug. This was perhaps Sean's favorite form of harassment. Ink whined as Sean dragged his prickly beard across his cheek. You can stop now. Come on, man, I'm just teasing you. You ought to know that by now. Is this how you treat your legion of girlfriends? Only the ones who are giving me a hard time. Gotta assert dominance, you know. You're disgusting. Sean snickered in acknowledgement. He took a book off the nearby shelf and began to rifle through it aimlessly. So you consider yourself a bibliophile, right, Ink? Yeah, for sure. You ever fuck a book? Sean, bro. What? Sean, knock it off. Oh, come on, it's just a little thought exercise. So, Ink, were you ever like physically intimate with a book? Come on, even I don't like books that much. And you know that's not what bibliophile means, right? Haha, good answer, bud. Sean began to flip through the pages faster now, clearly not reading a thing. Could you imagine it though? I don't know, maybe? What's the point of this, exactly? Much to his chagrin, the thought suddenly crossed his mind. He imagined how utterly ridiculous it would look and how awkward it might feel. He imagined the stench and he considered the potential for some unfortunate paper cuts. Bro, stop. And then a split second later, he cast that silly imagery from his mind. Listen, are you going somewhere with this or are you just trying to be funny? This is clearly the setup for some kind of idiotic joke. Almost. I don't really have a punchline or anything. I was just kind of playing off the whole bibliophile thing. I learned that word just the other day, you know. I can tell. Anyway, the reason I'm bugging you guys is because I figured out how to get the auditor to work. What? Really? Yes, sir. I'm pretty positive this is it. Come check it out. Boom. What are we looking for exactly? Oh, hey Liza. Almost forgot you were there. You were here. Anyway, have a closer look. See if one of you can find it. Shouldn't be too tough. Let's see. These books look like they're from authors with last names that start with S, T, U, and V. Uh-huh. Now, which one of those letters is most important to us? Um, which letter is the most important? I mean, I don't actually know. T? Ink made his way over to the tea section. He looked up and down to the shelf for something that stood out. Hmm. Not sure you picked the right letter, bud. Ink ignored his friend and kept scouring the bookshelf. That's when he saw it. Dude, that was the wrong letter. No, it wasn't. Ink reached for the book and read the title out loud. Advanced Neuroelectric Interfaces by Nolan Thatcher. Oh, that's one of my father's books. Has he written many? Quite a few, yeah. He wrote most of them during his stint as a professor at BBU. This one's a bit more recent, I think. That's not exactly what I had in mind, but it's sort of interesting, I guess. Not sure how that's supposed to help us escape, though. It won't help us escape, necessarily, but Nona Thatcher has connections to a few of us contestants, you two namely. It's not impossible that his research is somehow important. Neuroelectric, huh? I don't know, man. I think that's a bit of a stretch. And that thing's a doorstopper. Not even you could read that whole thing in the time we have left. No, but I could start skimming it if I have a spare minute. And I could always read it after we escape. Even if we make it out of here alive, I'm sure we'll all have questions that need answering. I'm gonna hang on to this, I think. So yourself, man. Liza, could I ask you to hang on to this for me? Fine. Ugh, my shoulders are gonna be so sore tomorrow. Anyway, moving on. I was hoping that one of you would have picked S, for scent. Okay. What was scent your first thought? The guy's clearly got a huge ego. Of course he's gonna make us search for him. It's pretty obvious if you think about it. Scent's not the only one with a huge ego. If you just look down here, near the bottom, sure enough, near the bottom of the bookshelf, there were four titles that stood out. The Truth Behind Your Abduction, Volumes 2, 4, 3, and 1. Each volume had been written by one Cent. Huh. Also, yeah, something there was a one of the puzzle solution was like Cent will show you the way or something, so I guess that's what this was referring to. He picked up volume 2 and leafed through it. Every single page was blank. I can't say that I expected much else. He's a jokester, that Cent. The important bit isn't in pages though. Look. Ink grabbed the book from Ink's hand and pointed at its spine. Look how thick this is. There's definitely something embedded in here. Now let's see what happens if we rearrange the books like so. Sean rearranged the four volumes so that they were in ascending order. And just like that, Ink heard the monitor spark to life. Huh, they must have some RFID tags in the spine. Come on, you telling me this is what had you guys stumped earlier? Well, I can't be sure that this is what the solution was last time, but yeah, maybe. You poor schmuck. No wonder it's taking you so long to clear all those rooms. Hey, I hadn't even been looking at that side of the room. I definitely wouldn't have missed that. Actually, now that I think about it, Liza, weren't you the one looking through this part of the room back in the green wing? I don't remember. No, it was definitely you. How'd you miss that? You don't think books titled The Truth Behind Your Abduction might be a little suspicious? The author's name is Sen, for goodness sakes. I didn't have the time to read every single title on the shelf. It'll take you like 30 seconds. Who said are you on here? I missed them, okay? Yeah, why are you picking on Liza like this? She must have just missed them, that's all. Stop being a simp. I never pick on you, honey. Oh, shut up. Alas, rejection. My heart is being ripped asunder. Better get used to it. Seriously, though, my insides feel like total garble. In a flash, Sean had gone from his usual chipper self to keeling over, groaning in agony. Sean, here, let me give you some napkins or paper or something. It's okay. It's calming down. These are getting more and more frequent. There's only so much blood we can lose before more serious effects start cropping up. Why don't we get started on this puzzle then? Right. Might do me some good to think about something else. You guys get started. I need a sec. Let's check on our straggler first. Liza? What? Listen, I didn't mean to sound so critical of you back there. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have let it get to me. I really was trying, though, to help. It's frustrating that I missed something so obvious. Don't worry about it. There's no guarantee we had the same puzzle back through the green room. Besides, rummaging through bookshelves probably isn't something you do every day. Exactly. Most of what I read is on the computer. Fiction, news, company dossiers. You mean the documents relating to your father's company? Those are all stored locally at your home? What do you take us for? Neanderthals? Stuff like that's too vulnerable to just leave around in a filing cabinet or a random server. A home network's the safest place for it. That makes it sound kinda sketchy. You've got the wrong idea. It's sensitive information, that's all. Trade secrets, important research, transaction details. CEO's eyes only. You are so ignorant sometimes. But you're not the CEO. Yeah, but I will be, eventually, so it's okay if I have a peek now. I'm just getting a head start on things. I only look up the business side of things anyway. The research is basically gobble, gobbledygook, gobbledygook to anyone who isn't a neuroscience scientist. Your father doesn't know that you've been snooping around in those archives, does he? Why are you being so pushy, huh? I can't believe I'm wasting my time humoring you. Enough of this. We've got a puzzle to solve. I'll get answers from you yet, Liza. I know you're hiding something. But for now, I agree with you. Let's solve this thing. Okay, match edges. Nice, nice. Well done, lads. And lasses. Lads and lasses. I heard the door unlocked just now. We should get a move on. That's two down. We'll have this thing beat in no time. To victory, or whatever. With gusto, Sean marched over to the door and essentially kicked it open. Liza followed him shortly thereafter. Hey. Oh, hey, Tiana. I want to pick up where we left off. Ink sighed, shooing Tiana with a dismissive wave. You mean about Ray? Listen, that is not important. We need to keep moving, keep solving these puzzles. Ink turned away to resume his search, but Tiana grabbed his arm and forcefully spun him around. She pinned him against a bookshelf and wore a gaze so intense Ink couldn't help but yelp. Did I do something to offend you? No? What are you talking about? You've been giving me the cold shoulder ever since I woke up here. You're real chummy with everyone else, but you don't seem to want to have anything to do with me. You don't want to talk to me. You rarely answer my questions, and you've just been rude in general. And it's just you. Everyone else is at least pretending to like me. So what's got you so riled up that you won't so much as look at me, huh? Ink tried to wriggle free of her grasp, but it was no use. She was much stronger than he was. He squirmed a bit more to make it look as though he was just trying to get comfortable, but that didn't appear to work either. Okay, first of all, this isn't helping. Finally, she let go of Ink, though she didn't back away. There was a lull as Ink tried to think of something to say. He told you about me, didn't he? A little, yeah. A little about your relationship, a little about that, algorithm. RN. That's the one. It's just, I don't understand how you could do that to someone. Whatever he told you, I can guarantee you only heard what he wants you to hear. I know that man better than anyone. He's sure to paint his words to make it look like he was a victim in all of this. There are two sides to every story, Ink. Remember that. Hey, wait. It was Ink's turn to grab Tiana's wrist as she turned to leave. What? You're going to walk away just like that? I have the information I wanted. That's all I care about. Aren't you going to tell me what happened between you two? What really happened? She snapped her arm back to her side. No, because I'm above bad mouthing people when they aren't around. And I thought you wanted to hurry up and escape? I see. Sorry I asked. Look, if you can get Ray on board with it, I'll tell you the whole thing. For now, though, don't be so quick to trust Ray. That's all you want to do with me, then? Yeah. Sorry for being so forceful. Bad habit of mine. We're not friends, Ink, and I'm not sure we ever will be, but I don't want to be enemies. I can agree to that, at least. I'll try and keep you in the loop from now on. Should we join up with Liza and Sean? Yeah, let's go. Ink arrived to find Sean and Liza mid-conversation. Sean was trying to hit on her, no doubt. Tiana stepped in to intervene, an exasperated look on her face. Yeah, Tiana's a bit handsy with people, I guess. And that's when Ink heard it, felt it. Ink froze. It had been a while since he heard it, but there was no mistaking that sound. That's that's my Gemini. Ink stared at his Gemini, awestruck. He looked up, then back down at the device, then up once more. Sean is right there. So who? Hello. How are you, Ink? So that's not Sean. Okay. I mean, that's obvious. Alright. Chapter 21, The Sound of Your Voice. Skip. Ink was sure of two things. One, Sean Ward, his contact, was standing right in front of him. And two, he had just received a message on his Gemini. If Sean's right there, then who just sent me a message? If I pull out my Gemini, will it look suspicious? Wait, why am I even worried about it looking suspicious? I've got nothing to hide. So the puzzle ought to be in one of those adjoining rooms. Makes sense to me. We ought to split up and look for it. Yo, Liza, wanna search together? You know, buddy system and all that. You're not my buddy, so no. They seem busy enough. Let's take a quick peek. Hello, how are you, Ink? Who is this? This is Sean, your good friend, yes? I know you aren't Sean. The real Sean is right next to me. So who is this, really? Sent? I suppose pretending to be someone else is not my forte. I apologize in advance if you have any role-playing fantasies. This is indeed your very gracious host, Sent. I figure, so you've hijacked my Gemini, is that it? Precisely. I did say I was in control of all electronics in this hotel, did I not? What do you want? You trying to give me a heart attack? I've been meaning to contact you for some time now. I should warn you, however, that my methods to you are to remain a secret. Should you tell anyone, I will consider it cheating. I don't care. I don't even want to talk to you. Just go away. Ink? But what are you doing with your nose buried in that thing? Oh, Ink fumbled over his words, trying to parse the truth out of Sen's messages. Sen might be bluffing about the whole cheating thing, but do I really want to run that risk? Ugh, best not to mention it for now. I was just, looking through some old messages. Dude, I'm right here. If you wanted to know something about our conversations, you could just, ask me. You seem pretty busy accosting Liza. Accosting? Get a load of this guy. I was just being friendly. Thinking of our safety, of course. Safety, huh? Don't mess with the sanctity of the buddy system, man. Could you please leave Liza alone for like 10 whole minutes? Is that too much to ask? It's fine, Ink. Flirting is probably his defense mechanism. I'm just letting the words sail right on by. You don't need to justify his shitty behavior. Sean, you seriously need to cut it out. Every time you open your mouth, I have to fight the urge to fill it with my boot. I can't believe Ink willingly spends time with you. I swear he's not usually like this. You're lucky you have Ink to vouch for you. Duh, Ink's always got my back, and I've got his. What's the point of having friends if you can't help them out sometimes? Putting it that way makes it seem like you're capable of normal social interaction. He's kind of like my unofficial wingman, not that I need one. What I'm trying to say is, it's been a good year for my ego. I take it back, creep. A look of realization flashed across Liza's face. Hold on, you've only known Ink for a year? We've been friends for about a year, yeah. I knew the kid in high school, but we didn't really hang back then. Seems like forever ago. Isn't that kind of weird, though? The rest of our contacts are people who are, or were, a big part of our lives. Fathers, sons, partners. And then we get to you, and you're just some guy Ink's been hanging out with for a year. How does that work? I don't know, man. Ask Sent. Don't sell yourself short, Sean. You're more than just some guy. I can't imagine where I'd be today if it weren't for you. Heh, thanks for the vote of confidence, bub. There was a lull. It was followed by the communal realization that Exit Corners was far from over. And Ink remembered the reason for that tension in the first place. I guess it's about time to search these rooms then. You want to take this side of the hall with me, Ink? Liza and I can search the other side. Actually, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to go check on the other group. Huh? Why is that? I just want to check up on how they're doing and help them if they're stuck on a puzzle. You really want to go visit them so soon? Not sure if that's a great idea. It ought to be fine. Yeah? Fine, fine. Guess we can't hog you all to ourselves. But come back soon, okay, bud? We'll locate and start the puzzle while you're gone. Hopefully we'll have it solved by the time you're back. Cool. If you're still working on the puzzle, leave the door open so I can find you. Done. Sounds good to me. Let's get searching. Good luck, Ink. Ink took a deep breath as he doubled back into the main hall. Confident that no one would come looking for him, he sat himself down and pulled out his Gemini. What do you want with me, Sent? Sent, yes? I'm alone now. Tell me whatever it is you're still hell-bent on telling me and get this over with. Alone, you say? Wonderful. Simply wonderful. I'm always happy to talk to you, Ink. Cut it out. What is it you want from me? I want to help you, Ink. I highly doubt that. Give me a chance. I can provide you with information, valuable information. How about no? You're nothing if not a compulsive liar. Is that so? You've told me more lies than truths today, by a long shot. Very well. Perhaps I can help in some other manner. Like what? I can help with a puzzle or two. You need to keep this affair secret, of course, but I know some of the answers. Not buying it. More information about yours truly? Not interested. A map of the hotel? No. Emotional support? Hell no. Perhaps I can charge. Perhaps I can change some of the exit corners rules? Exit corners? Yes, exit corners. That game I've so lovingly laid out. You know the one. I know what you meant, just. Fuck. Never mind. I should have realized you're just trying to waste my time. Do not leave. Bye. Please do not leave. Flustered, Ink stuffed the device back into his jacket. I can't believe I fell for another of Sen's stupid distractions. Again. I've got to block him out, ignore him. I may not get anything done otherwise. He sighed. For a brief moment, he considered snapping his Gemini in two, but considered it an ill omen. Time to check up on everyone else. Hope they're okay. Not wanting to waste any more time, he hurried through the blue door. Ink found himself in a familiar, dilapidated study. Huddled around the screen were the three contestants Ink had left behind. They turned to face him as he entered. You're still stuck in the study? Ink! Hey guys. Ink, good to see you're still in one piece. Yeah, for now. We haven't run into any traps through the black door yet. How are things over here on the blue side? Difficult, if I'm being honest. We're still stuck in this first room. Personally, I'm exhausted. My mind feels like it's going in circles. I ain't being too useful either. It's been hard to concentrate. Don't be hard on yourselves, Ray. You just focus on staying conscious. We did manage to get the puzzle to turn on, though, so that's something. That's right. We were working on solving it as you walked in. Let me have a look at it. That's what I'm here for, right? Of course. Right this way. Okay. +1. That's one more down. Tricky. It pains me that we couldn't solve that on our own. Beth, yes? You don't look so hot. You okay? I'm tired is all. Tired and anxious. Please don't worry yourself on my account. I'm the one that's supposed to be taking care of you. He's right, Bill. You look unwell. Nothing much to be done about that. Do you want to sit down for a few minutes? We don't have the time. I'll rest when we escape. The rest of us can keep going. Just take a quick breather. I'm with Eva on this one. Same here. If you like passed out or something, well, that slows us down a lot more than a 5 minute break. Oh? Since when are you such an expert on fainting? I. Oh, I was only poking fun. I'll have a quick break then, if you're all so insistent. I can grab some water for you if you like. I appreciate it. In seconds, Eva backtracked through the door leading to the main hall. 5 minutes of rest, no more. Ink flashed her thumbs up as she made her way to the table at the center of the room. Sitting down, she leaned onto the table with her elbows, resting her chin on the back of her cupped hands. So, Eva and Tiana, they don't really know each other, do they? Well, I won't get upset. No, they don't know one another. Listen, I don't care if you told her. It was a stupid thing to get mad about. Sen ended up bringing her in here. Sen ended up bringing her here anyway, so it's not like it even mattered in the end. If that's how Ray wants to leave things, I'm fine with it. You talk with Tiana at all? A little bit. She told me not to trust you. Of course she said that. Anything specific? No, we mostly talked about the game and the puzzles, to be honest. She's, not the friendliest. Once upon a time, she was an approachable person, and funny, in a dry sort of way. Maybe she still liked out the others, I don't know. The others? The rest of the comp sci crew. Our mutual circle of friends. Or our ex-mutual circle of friends, if you want to be accurate. Most of them took her side when we broke up. I was a dropout after all, and she was the whiz kid with the cool algorithm. You couldn't convince them Marin was yours? Ain't that simple. It's a complicated situation. Sounds like she's made things hard for you. We made things hard for each other. Bad mistakes, both of us. A forlorn look crept into Ray's face. For reasons he couldn't quite pin down, Ink wanted to test the waters. Do you miss her? He didn't know what compelled him to ask, but surprisingly, the question didn't seem to bother Ray. Not her, but I miss the way things used to be. Sharing an apartment, not ordering takeout all the time, having someone to challenge you to be better. Hell, even going for walks around the dog park. You two had a dog? Nah, she wanted one though. We'd always go to the park and watch him play and stuff. She always had a soft spot for dogs. Yeah, but so did Hitler, so I doubt that counts for much. Ah, damn it, I thought he'd find that funny. How did things get so fucked up? I don't know, Ray. We've just got to do the best we can with what we got. You're right. Can't give up now. But Jesus, this hurts. I wish I could just wake up. Ugh. Beth was up from her seat in a flash. Not again! Deep breaths, Ray, same as last time. Ink watched as Ray attempted to both tuck his head into his elbow and grip his stump with his remaining hand. Ray assumed to contort his shape and managed to do neither. Not like that, you're too worked up. Hey, I have to. Ugh. Water. Ray, you need to lie down. Follow me. If this wing is laid out the same way as the others, there ought to be some beds right through here. Beth ushered Ray into what Ink figured was the hallway that connected to more empty hotel rooms. This is the second time this has happened since we split up. That often, huh? It's hard to see him like this, not to mention I don't do well with gore in the first place. Yeah, I think I've seen enough blood today for one lifetime. Enough about that. How are you holding up? Better than Beth or Ray, I guess. Small blessing, I know. How about on your end? Black Door Squad? They should be working on the second puzzle right now. It's been a while, so I'm hoping they've made it a bit further than that. Is everyone getting along? He couldn't help but chuckle, a wide grin plastered on his face. What, did I say something weird? It's just, that's a very you thing to ask. You've known me less than a day, and now you're an expert on me, huh? Well, I mean, oh, I'm just kidding. Besides, we'll have tons of time to get to know each other after all of this is over. Right? Huh, right you are. To answer your question, though, yeah, they're getting along. Sort of. Sean's being Sean, but looks like Tiana's keeping him in check. He's still pestering Liza, huh? Bleh. Ink tilted his head. Was that your clairvoyance just now? Or just good intuition? I don't know what you mean. You knew what meant by Sean being Sean, despite barely knowing him. Oh, Dad, I'm not sure exactly. It's hard to tell sometimes. So while I don't know how I know it, I'm pretty confident in saying that Sean can be persistent when it comes to women. He can be a butt sometimes, but he's a nice enough guy when you get down to it. Oh, I'm sure. He's a little intimidating at first, though. You think Sean's intimidating? The guy with the roadkill undercut? Yeah, a little bit. I mean, he's tall, I guess. Commanding presence. Maybe it's just a beard. Now that I think of it, he reminds me of someone. Couldn't tell you who, though. He's kind of popular, I guess. Maybe you've seen him around campus? Don't know. It's weird. I'm usually pretty good at remembering people. Wouldn't Sean have remembered you, though, if you went? I don't think I'm a very memorable person. People tend to forget about me before long. Don't be so hard on yourself. Wait, you'll forget about me before long. No, I'll find out who you are. You won't even remember this conversation. I'll remember you, your voice, everything. Mark my words, I will remember. Hmm? Were you going to say something? I. Who was that? What's going on? Are you okay, Ink? You look like you've seen a ghost. Did you hear that just now? What are you talking about? That voice. You must have heard it. It said, don't be hard on yourself. Something like that. But voice? What are you talking about? No, that's impossible. This can't be happening. Ink doubled over, just barely holding back what he knew was blood and bile. Ink, what's going on? He shut his eyes tight, holding back what he knew were tears. It's over. Hearing things like a fucking lunatic. Like him. The floor gave out from under him. He lurched forward, twisting away from where he knew Eva was standing. Reluctantly, he opened his eyes. He wasn't even surprised anymore. Ink's stomach began to knot itself in tandem with the room. It felt as if his insides were being stretched and folded like pasta dough. He stained the bending, twisting carpet with red mucus. Ink! Oh, not again. Ether, Oh, the thread had reappeared. What's wrong? What are you looking at? I'm seeing things again. The room's all twisted. It's being torn apart. Dumbfounded, the girl looked over her shoulder, but saw nothing. I don't know what you mean. It's useless. She can't see it at all. How could he get her to understand? He felt so small in the face of everything. I'm going to go get Beth, okay? Wait, Eva was here when I overcame the last time. She can stop it, somehow. Don't just leave me here. I won't leave you. She grabbed his trembling hands, enveloping them with a gentle warmth. Her fingers were as soft as light. I'm sick of being alone. Ink choked on his words, his voice coarse. Sobbing, Ink fell into her arms. Please go back to normal. Please, please, please. This static effect. Interesting. A few stymied breaths later, it was over. Are you okay? What a question. Ink? It's complicated, but yeah, I'm okay, I think. Eva put her hands together and heaved a sign of relief. The pair sat together for a few silent minutes. Ink managed to regain some of his composure. In the heat of the moment, he was as scared as he'd ever been, but just as before, the worst seemed to have passed. Before they knew it, Beth had returned. She gasped upon seeing a fresh blood splattered across the floor. You too? I just finished dealing with this over in the other room. Easy now, it's not as bad as you think. It's over now anyway. See? I'm all better. Beth donned a worried look, clearly contemplating whether or not to let Ink drop the subject. Whatever the illness was, Ink knew the contestants were becoming desensitized to the problem. I was here, Beth. We had it under control. Oh, very well. It's not like you two will listen to any of my advice anyhow. How's Ray? Not good. He's losing too much blood. If at all possible, I'd like him to continue to rest until we've acquired all the keys. If things don't get better, which it looks like they won't, I'm going to suggest regrouping with Liza, Tiana, and Sean. Oh? Ray shouldn't be up and about. He and I aren't going to do much in the way of puzzles in our story states. I believe that splitting up may have been a mistake. That's what I was trying to tell everyone. Yeah, I'm starting to get that feeling too. How about this then? I'll go meet up with the other three, finish whatever puzzle you're on, then get them to come join us over here. You're saying we should complete the blue door before the black door? I figured that since Ray's already resting in one of the rooms in the blue wing, it'd be easier to keep an eye on him if we all moved over here. Makes sense. That's a fine idea. Could you do that, Ink? I'm sorry to have asked to ask for help all of a sudden. We're tight on time, but if we want everyone to make it out of here, I believe grouping up is our best course of action. I would hate to lose any of you. We're in the same boat. I don't want to lose anyone either. Need anything from me before I head off? Don't think so. We'll start on the next puzzle if we can't find it. Be safe, okay? Eva hugged Ink before opening the door to the next room, motioning for Beth to follow. So have that letter I gave you? Safe and snug. Very good. Ink? Yeah? Be brave for me, will you? Find the courage for where I could not. You're the bravest person I know, Beth. His remarks seemed to amuse Beth. She saw him off with a smile. Ink made the unremarkable return trip to the Black Wing. The back and forth was tedious, but after what had just happened, Ink needed a walk. The longer I stay in the four elements, the fewer things I can explain. I hate it. I'm tired of not knowing anything, of being left in the dark. But you know what? To hell with all that. I'll uncover the truth behind this game yet. There are countless clues right under my nose, I'm sure of it. I just need to unearth them. And I know exactly where I'm going to start. Oh, you're still here then. Hey, do you need something? Alright, well, I guess we have more questions for Liza. Okay, so that was Exit Corners. Please hit like and subscribe if you want to see more episodes dropping soon, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.